Dumbo is officially soaring into theaters. Hey guys, Heather Catlin here. Tim Burton and Disney teamed up together to make a whole new version of the childhood classic. I sat down with the stars to see how they made it happen.
Welcome, baby Dumbo. We're all family here.
Tim Burton is known for his on-screen artistry, but this movie could be his best yet. The story different, but familiar. The visuals, mind-blowing.
You have magic.
Giving Tim this story, this beautiful story that we love and have so many, there's so many values to the story and moral issues and like things that just resonate throughout, and give it to an artist like Tim, who just brings it into the 21st century with his magic. And it was a joy to be there.
We gotta be. We gotta be. What is that?
Dumbo was completely computer-generated imagery, so imagining the flying elephant took a little work.
There were several ways to create Dumbos. I mean, sometimes there was a man in a green suit on all fours moving like Dumbo.
How can you not laugh at that?
Well, even Tim sometimes played Dumbo, believe it or not. That was very entertaining.
Oh wait, time out. Tim Burton played Dumbo?
Yes, sometimes.
There was an amazing stuntman by the name of Paul Lowe, who was, spent the best part of 5 months in a green spandex onesie and got an awful hard time sometimes because of it, but Paul was extraordinary. Paul would literally be Dumbo, would come running in and do the parts and lean his head into you and rub against you. And even though it was a dude in a green spandex suit, it was kind of, honestly, it was kind of some of the things you'd see him do, you could imagine, because you knew the context of the scene and how sad the scene was in relation to the little baby elephant. You could imagine if they cracked the character in CGI, how moving it could be. And I think they did an amazing job, the people who work in this kind of thing, to bring life to it. They did an amazing job to make it as empathetic a character as it is, and almost as human as it is as well. There's so many recognizable emotions that we have, like joy and mischief and sadness and fear and all those things.
And Ava told me that Tim Burton actually got down and pretended to be Dumbo a few times.
Oh yeah, I think he pretended to be everyone in the cast at certain stages. He's so engaged in the whole process. But yeah, he would. Yeah, Tim spent a good bit of his time on his hands and knees in this film. Yeah, and not always looking for camera angles. Yeah, he was very engaged in the whole process. It was great to watch.
That's just one way he's very unique, but this is your first time working with him. Why is he different than other directors?
I don't know. We'd have to go back into his childhood for that one. I don't know. I mean, look, I saw a picture, and I assume it was legit, of Tim when he was, I don't know because he was in full costume, but I gather he was 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 or 12, somewhere in there. And it's a picture of him in a Halloween costume, I think on the front lawn of his parents' house in Burbank. And the Halloween costume is, for sure, if you look it up online, Tim Burton kid Halloween, I know. It's a prototype of Jack Skellington.
Oh my gosh.
And so you'd think, when I saw that, I was really moved, because I thought, ever since he was a child, he's been imagining these realities that are separate from, but born of, whatever reality he lived in as a child, and the use of his imagination. So he's been putting creative energy out into the world, and he's been living through his imagination for decades now, for 4 or 5 decades, whatever it is. So he's extraordinarily connected to his imagination, I feel. And he's extraordinarily connected to the discomfort and the awkwardness of being an outsider. And I don't know much about his childhood or whether he was an outsider. I assume he was, because he's very special. And special people usually are pushed to the fringes until they can find a way in which, whether they're on the fringes or not, is irrelevant. But he's incredibly connected to his imagination, and a lot of this world was born of not just the production designer's ability or brilliance, but Tim's own pencil sketches of what this world should look like. So, and as a result of that, he's really engaged in the process, the whole thing.
While Tim Burton helped the cast expand their imagination, he helped Ava get over one of her biggest fears. Now, I read that you're actually afraid of heights, but you play a high-flying circus star. How did you get over your fear of heights?
Oh my God. I mean, it was such a huge challenge, this movie, for me, because, I am terrified of heights. Literally, as a child, if I had to go up in the air, I would feel ill. So, but, I would do anything for Tim. So he was like, okay, you're gonna train with amazing circus people. So I trusted him, and I did this amazing training with this aerialist who really gave me confidence and was very patient. And I mean, and I can't believe, you know, I've been able to do those kind of flips in the air, but it took some time. It took 3 months to kind of, you know, tame my demons.
So are you better now? I mean, can you do things now that you weren't able to do before?
Yes, it's unbelievable. But I have to sing when I go up there. That's the thing. To kind of, it helps me to breathe and to kind of calm down. Because it was, I never thought I would overcome my fear. So it's kind of a miracle.
Dumbo to me represents, you know, you can have flaws, but you're special and unique
Absolutely.
because of those flaws.
Absolutely.
What would you say are your flaws that make you unique?
The thing is that it's oddities. It's like, you know, it's differences.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much flaws as like you know, when you're born in a certain way, you know, everybody has their own thing. They look at themselves and they say, when I know mine was, I was 5 feet tall. I was like always like this kind of creature rumbling around, coming into rooms. People would always look at me, and so my oddity was always that I stuck out. As soon as I walked into a room, all eyes went over to that, you know, this guy coming in, however I was dressed. And if it was winter, it was worse because I was just like a muffin or something. You know, I just walk in full of scarves and this thing. So, you know, you have that thing to deal with as a kid, and that's what Dumbo is dealing with. He's born into the world with these big ears, and people don't know what to make of him at first. The idea of him to take that supposedly flaw and turn it into something that's incredibly positive. I have such strong feelings that I relate to him. So, like he and I are really cut from the same cloth.
Fly, little one.